Now, some global examples in the way of to show how compassion has shown up in the world. And here I want again for you to remember there are many stories, global examples of how the global community has shown compassion in face of trauma, in the face of suffering, of illnesses. And as you think about it, I want you to describe what was being responded to. What are the facts? What were the global expressions of feelings? And what were the interventions? Who were the actors? And what was the outcome? And I hope you have come up with some good examples that you know of. I'm highlighting the HIV/AIDS example because this is the example that defined a lot of my professional life, the HIV pandemic, and how the world came together to react. In some cases, it started with outrage of people about individual stories. In others, it involved whole groups of patients, but we saw compassionate action that led to a difference, to the alleviation of suffering, to the response of treatment for HIV that was not there before. I'll give some compassion examples from Africa that are not related to disease, but to the orientation that has found itself in culture itself that leads to compassionate orientation and action. I start with one from South Africa, from the San people, the indigenous South African people called the San who live in the Kalahari Desert. Their greeting is not hello, it is, I saw you from a distance. And when you come closer, they say, I see you. And in this greeting is embedded the orientation that you are just like me. Again, from South Africa, there is a concept of Ubuntu. And Ubuntu means I am because you are. And then moving on to Rwanda. In Kinyarwanda, we have a phrase that says, Turi kumwe, we are together. This is a phrase that you will hear when people are expressing solidarity. And usually it's not just a word, it is followed by action of togetherness. You'll hear it when people have lost their loved ones, when people are in distress and action is needed. You'll hear it in community action. This indicates that we are not separate. We are not independent or disconnected beings. And it overrides the overlearned habitual tendency of the other, seeing people as the other, situations as the other, the environment as the other. Instead, we should realize that we are profoundly interconnected, independent, interdependent, and supported by all beings and nature. We belong to the other. And because of this, we should all seek courage, a willingness, a learning to take action to alleviate pain, confusion, and suffering in our world.